Well, time for another one of those embarrassing childhood confessions. It was the very early 2000s, and good old Cartoon Theatre was showing an animated movie called Rover Dangerfield. A film about a dog named Rover who ends up on a farm and has all kinds of wacky adventures. I was only about 5 at the time, but I remember enjoying it. Sounds pretty harmless, right? But it turns out there was a bit more to this silly movie than I realised at the time. Apparently it was some sort of passion project for the late stand-up comedian Rodney Dangerfield, who personally invested some of his own money into the film, and even wrote the screenplay, with some assistance from Harold Ramis? This is already getting quite weird. It was originally intended to be an edgier adult animated film released in 1988, but it ended up being toned down for a younger audience and released in 1991, I think. Yeah, this is a slightly strange scenario where there's no box office info on this movie at all, not even in America. Even the Tom and Jerry movie had something to report about how badly it did, so if the kid-friendly version of this film made absolutely nothing, you can only imagine what a disaster the grown-up version would have been. Still, this is another one of those films that sticks out in my head, because Cartoon Network would run it all the time when I was little. As a kid, I didn't even know it had anything to do with Rodney Dangerfield. I had no idea who he was. I just thought this was an amusing dog movie. What a boy, eh?
I mean, I don't get no respect from anyone.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be too hard on myself, because Rover Dangerfield never got a theatrical release in the UK. Instead, it was quietly released onto video in 1992, and here it is. I like how the spine has Bugs Bunny resting against the age rating. That's always a mark of quality. Anyway, let's take this tape for walkies and see if it gets any respect. This tape was released by Warner Brothers Family Entertainment, a spin-off label who put out a lot of kid-friendly movies in the 90s. That's why Bugs is on the spine. He was like their mascot, and he always wore a snazzy suit. Guess he liked to look his best for us. We get a big promo right before the movie showing off all the tapes they were putting out at the time, with the narration provided by our old friend John Sachs.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment, a great range of family movies for you to collect.
He was like the perfect voice for this time. Everything he says is so polite.
Of course, all the titles in the Warner Brothers Family Entertainment range are also available to rent.
Well, thank you, John. That's very nice of you to inform me. Even though I grew up mainly in the early 2000s, I always find these 90s promos to be very nostalgic. They're quite classy in their own way. I don't know if anyone else gets that feeling.
Family Entertainment also includes full-length animated movies, which will delight children of all ages.
It's like I'm trapped back in my nan's house again, watching old movies on TV. I didn't waste my childhood.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
There's also a trailer for Free Willy, a huge movie when it came out in 1993.
Imagine if the only person who knew how you felt was a boy who felt it too.
But you know, for all the times I've seen this trailer, I've never actually watched the movie. Maybe I should. Perhaps I'd have a whale of a time. Ugh.
The greatest adventure of the summer, Free Willy.
In fact, at the very end of the tape, there's a trailer for the sequel. Like, can you give me a chance to see the original one first? Actually, in the UK, the second one was originally supposed to have a different title, Willy 2.
Willy 2, The Adventure Home.
Yeah, I can see why they changed it. Movie time now, and the film is so family friendly, we even get a massive reminder that it's suitable for everyone. I trust you. So the movie begins with this weird CGI intro, mixed in with traditional animation, which is kind of novel for the time. Actually, the animation isn't even that bad. Las Vegas looks pretty colourful and appealing to me. The same can't be said, however, for our main character, Rover Dangerfield, a wisecracking dog with the voice of Rodney Dangerfield.
I love your pom-poms.
I've heard that before.
Oh, pardon me.
They even tried to make Rover look like him. Yeah, he has the tie, the hair, the weird bug-eyed stare. Seriously, it'll give you nightmares. And his only real personality trait is that he makes constant one-liners. All the time.
Flappy was dumb. Yeah, he used to walk backwards and wag his head. Carmine taught him how to sit. He forgot how to stand. Carmine paper trained him, that was something. He went right on the paper. The only trouble is, Carmine was reading it.
Honestly, this whole thing just feels odd. What was the point in making Rodney Dangerfield a dog in the first place? Who was this supposed to appeal to? Kids wouldn't know who he was. Like I said, I didn't have a clue at the time. I thought Rover Dangerfield was an original IP. In case this isn't already enough craziness for you, Rover sings about how much he loves life in Las Vegas and never wants to leave.
Well, it's a dog's life and I love it. If there's a heaven, this is it for me. The bright lights, the action, I feel so at home. I never have to worry where I'll find my next bone.
How come I'm getting all these animated musicals dumped on me all of a sudden? Well, the songs here are at least a bit more catchy than the Rudolph movie, but it's still pretty bizarre. I mean, look at this. It's like All Dogs Go to Vegas in here.
It's a dog's life and I love it.
After his show tune, Rover goes to visit his owner, a showgirl named Connie, and this is the first time we get that this movie was once intended for adults. Just look at some of the risque outfits here. I mean, put some clothes on, love.
Oh, Rover, you wouldn't forget my birthday.
Connie has a boyfriend called Rocky, a small-time criminal who appears to take a bit of a dislike to Rover.
You must beat it.
Well, at least he looks the part of being a complete scumbag. When Rocky tries to make a shady deal with a gang of crooks, Rover interrupts the meeting and they run off faster than Sonic the Hedgehog.
The cops! It's a setup. Let's get out of here!
Talk about cautious criminals.
That's twice he missed tonight.
Rover, you're mine! I'm gonna get you!
Rocky wants revenge on Rover for messing up his deal, and when Connie has to leave on a road trip, she leaves Rover behind for Rocky to take care of.
Rocky will take care of you.
Yeah, I'll take care of him.
What a sensible decision. This whole scene is kind of disturbing. Rocky roughs up Rover, shoves him in a bag, takes him to Hoover Dam, and then drops him to his watery grave.
I'll miss you, Rover.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
It's easy to forget how brutal animated movies could be back then. Even Don Bluth would probably think twice about this kind of malice. Luckily, Rover survives and gets rescued by two fishermen.
Careful, Tom. Might be dangerous.
Yeah, because nothing says killing machine like a poor unconscious dog. When he wakes up, Rover makes a run for it and ends up on a farm, where he almost gets mowed down by a giant threshing machine.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
Fortunately, Rover is rescued by the farmer's son, who sounds suspiciously familiar.
His name is Rover. Can we keep him? That goes double for me.
Yeah, it's Dana Hill, who voiced Jerry in the Tom and Jerry movie. That would explain why both these movies feel so similar in their weirdness. They're practically cousins, really. The kid convinces his dad to let Rover stay on the farm, causing Rover to come to a shocking conclusion.
Pigs. Sheep. Cows. I'm on a farm.
What, it took him that long to figure it out?
Hey gang, say hello to Rover. He's new around here.
Rover gets to meet some of the other farmyard animals, who don't really get that much focus and just kind of exist in the background. They're not even on the VHS cover. For some reason they drew all these made-up creatures you don't ever see in the movie. Like, what gives?
I gotta get out of here.
Being a city boy, Rover can't adjust to life on the farm, and ends up getting into hilarious mischief, like chasing down a rooster and then
Get away from those chickens.
almost getting his brains blown out. Like, I can't believe this is a shot in a kid's movie. There's your first sign of tonal inconsistency.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
So Farmer Dad clearly doesn't like Rover, but the mutt tries to make it up to him by herding some sheep.
You cotton balls, listen up. Your little Bo Peep days are over.
However, Rover gets distracted by a female dog called Daisy, the dog next door, who doesn't really have much to say.
As soon as I saw you, I had to run over here. Just one look, and I knew you're for me. Daisy, you're the kind of girl I'd do anything for.
Though, to be fair, I'd be a bit speechless if I saw a character like this too. But Rover decides it's love at first sight, and he tries to put the moves on Daisy with a truly romantic song.
I'd give up a bone for you, 'cause that's how much you mean to me.
Say no more.
I'd give up a bone for you.
Rover returns to finish herding the sheep, but he finds them stuck up in a tree? Okay, how did this happen? It might actually make a more interesting plot.
You'll sleep in here until you can do something right.
Farmer Dad locks him up as a punishment, but Daisy visits Rover in the middle of the night to comfort him.
I know you think life is just one big game, but you're not in Las Vegas now, Rover.
Again, the animation is pretty good here, just like how dramatic the lighting is. It's just a shame it's, you know, a Rodney Dangerfield dog movie.
I know they have bright lights in the city, but do they have anything as beautiful as this?
Rover and Daisy share a romantic moment together. Well, they try to, but Rover just kind of gives up. What, couldn't he be bothered or something? This is when Rover gets really depressed. He would have fitted right in with Rudolph.
I don't belong anywhere. I'm always in the way. I can't do nothing right. Nobody likes me. I gotta get out of here.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
But Daisy believes in Rover and talks some sense back into him.
I know you, Rover.
Yeah, you've known him for like 5 minutes. These two have barely said a word to each other.
Don't give up.
Okay, Daisy. if you believe in me.
Rover starts to work harder at being a farmyard dog, finally getting some respect. So we fast forward to winter, which I guess brings up the debate of whether Rover Dangerfield is a Christmas movie, and Rover sings a delightful festive song that will be remembered for generations to come.
I'll never do it on a Christmas tree, that's one thing that you'll never see. Oh, you'll just have to trust in me, I'll never do it on a Christmas tree.
Yes, never mind carefully selected Disney songs crafted around the plot. The only inspiration you really need for music is a dog doing his business against a tree.
I'll never, 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 never do it on a Christmas tree.
Things start looking up for Rover, but when a trio of wild wolves attack in the middle of the night, they go after one of the farmyard turkeys, leading to yet another hilarious moment in which Rover...
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Come on, you're okay, come on, snap out of it, will you? Come on, I don't believe this.
There are no words to describe how wrong this is. They play this whole dead turkey scene for laughs, and it's so not funny. It's actually kind of sick. No wonder no one saw this movie. They would have had to offer free therapy sessions for all the crying kids.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
So after that side-splitting hilarity, things get even less funny. Farmer Dad has had it with Rover and decides to put him out of his misery by shooting him in the head. Dad of the year, everyone.
I know how attached Danny is to you, but you see, I cannot have an animal on my farm killing other animals.
I mean, I know he's a pretty irritating character, but I wouldn't want to kill him. What's wrong with you?
So long, boys. I hope you'll remember me when I'm gone. Please, look after Daisy for me.
I can't believe I'm watching this. It's dragged out like an actual execution. They treat Rover like a dead dog walking. It's demented.
I don't want to leave. No, I don't want to go. Please.
Now, all that said, if this were some kind of dramatic animated movie, this would actually be a very effective scene. But it's a Rodney Dangerfield dog movie. Why is it so serious?
This is hard for me, Rover, but you've taken a life. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they were not right in the head when they made this.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
Thankfully, Farmer Dad has a change of heart, but not before getting attacked by the vicious wolves.
That one's for the three little pigs.
But Rover saves the day, squashes the wolves, and gets his respect back.
Who do you think you're dealing with? Little Red Riding Hood?
When Rover's friend in Vegas finds out about his heroic exploits, he brings the news to Connie, who finally returns to take Rover back home, and he has to leave Daisy behind.
I have to go. You understand that, don't you?
I understand, Rover. Goodbye.
But life in Vegas isn't so great for Rover anymore, especially when that pesky crook Rocky discovers that he's still alive.
You dirty mutt!
Rocky, what are you doing?
I thought I was rid of you for good!
Rid of you for good?
Just look how he goes to hit her. This movie has issues.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
Rover chases Rocky away, and he tries to make his escape, but his fellow criminals have come to collect their payback, and they know just what to do with him.
This is his setup. Wanna see Hoover Dam?
Goodbye.
Well, I guess we can call this an implied villain death. I mean, it's fine to show a dog almost getting shot and a dead turkey, but apparently it's just too much to see Rocky plummeting to his doom. Even though Rover is safe now, he still misses Daisy and life on the farm, but Connie realizes that Rover is no longer a city dog and takes him back to the farm to be with Daisy. It's slightly bittersweet, since she basically has to give him up.
It's all settled then. Rover, welcome home.
I actually remember getting a bit teary about this as a kid, but then again, I was probably so traumatized by the attempted murder that I would have been sobbing on the floor anyway. Still, Rover finally gets his happy ending and runs off with Daisy to freedom. So that was Rover Dangerfield, and yeah, looking back on it, this is a really weird one. It's just all over the place. The animation is pretty decent, and I've heard way worse songs than the ones here. Still, you can tell it was originally intended for grown-ups, since there are things in this movie that I think are pushing it even by 90s animation standards. Yet at the same time, the rest of the film is all silly dog antics and one-liners, so I'm not really sure what Rodney Dangerfield wanted this film to be. It'll probably be a mystery forever. So if you ever wondered why Rover Dangerfield gets no respect, well, now you know. Thanks for watching this video, and look out for more reviews coming soon.